here today with Keven Samuelson. We are about to go on a trip down on the Yakima River, starting out of Ellensburg. Keven, what's on the agenda today? What's hot?
We're going to fish dry flies all day long. Start out with squala patterns like size 8, size 10 stone flies, and then wait for the caddis or mayfly. There's a little bit of caddis, but mostly mayflies coming off about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And fish to rising fish, eating fish, and hopefully get a bunch in the boat. Dries all day.
All right. So we're here at the end of March.
Yeah.
Fishing is year-round on the Yakima, right?
It's year-round. It's open catch and release, single barbless hook all year long, from Rosa Dam to Easton Dam up on Snoqualmie Pass, and it's good all the time, except for a few cold snaps in the winter. Always good fishing. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's starting to rain, so that must mean it's time to go fishing. So let's go hit the water.
Let's do it.
All right.
Stoneflies. They hatch about 42 to 45 degrees of water. Size 8. They vary in color from a dirty yellow to olive green on the bottom, and egg sac is really important. Most of the adults on the water are laying their eggs, so they have a big egg sac hanging down behind them here. Key thing about the squala is they don't swim around too much, so dead drifts a good, when you're fishing out of the drift boat, downstream presentation at like a 45-degree angle to get your line and your leader upstream of the fly so it's not dragging it at all. We usually get them to come sip this big bug in early season. So different squala patterns that we use. This is store-bought, peacock body, big egg sac, really skinny profile, no legs. Can be really important sometimes to get a super skinny profile on this squala stone. They're not very wide-bodied, and the fish sometimes like that subtle presentation without all the big rubber legs and the Chernobyl ant type pattern. It's got a little elk hair wing and a nice parachute post for you to see, so you can really see if your fly is dragging or not. If you can't see it good, you're not fishing it well usually, because you can't see the subtle drag that's on there. So I like to use highly visible patterns. Another one that we're using is the stimulator, another subtle pattern. And what I'll do is I'll just take some scissors and just cut all the bottom hackle off of that fly so it rides low, but it still makes a pretty good stonefly pattern. But most stimulators have a big hackle underneath that causes it to ride really high, and we kind of want to cut it down so it's low, right in the surface film. So we'll just take a stimulator, chop off the hackle, and that makes a good squala. And then we got a couple olive colored patterns here with a white poly wing, makes it easy to see. Low in the surface film, a little foam bug with some rubber legs, and the olive color of the underneath of that squala, especially the males. We got a black one here with yellow thread. They're pretty dark. Some are almost black, so we want to cover all our color bases there. And another one is just a typical bullet head squala with a big egg sac and a couple biots for the tail. And a little more detailed pattern with some flexi legs on there, olive dubbing, and furry foam, and a big egg sac. Gray poly wing. So those are the different squala stoneflies that we're going to use today out here, and hopefully we're going to get some nice fish on them.
All right, let's go get them.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Good. So it's 11 o'clock. Got our first Yakima trout on a dry. 12 inches. Healthy fish, not bad at all. He ate a squall stone.
Excellent.
That's a way to start the day.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Very nice.
And back you go.
We'll put him back in the drink. Very nice. Why pop that?
It's hard to believe it's snowing and raining. Snowing in the passes and raining over in Seattle, and we've got sunny weather, nice, and some good fish.
On the drive.
Kevin, how does the sun affect the fishing?
Well, sometimes the fish are a little spooky to come up to the surface when there's a direct sunlight on them because of all the osprey and blue herons that are out here trying to get them. So when the sun's directly up, they're going to be down lower in the water column and they're not going to be quite as apt to come up to the surface and take the dry fly, but you can still get them. They're just going to be real quick about it, and you might not see as many fish, maybe not as big a fish in the sunlight on the dry fly. And also the mayflies kind of like the moisture, humid weather to hatch, so you get a little cloud cover, a little drizzle, and the mayflies will really come off. Plus the sun's covered, so the fish will feel comfortable potting up and coming right up by the surface and kind of suspending in the water column to take and feed on the adult blueing olives and March browns and such that we have out here this time of year. So cloud cover.
Over cloud cover tends to be maybe a marginally better fishing, huh?
Yeah, for dry flies. But you can still go subsurface and catch them good in the sun, clouds or whatever. But they are going to be more apt to move around when you have a little cloud cover, especially this time of year, because they're not really tight to the banks. In the summertime, the fish will be right up in all this grass, so they'll be a little more covered, so they'll be a little more protected to come up and eat. But right now they're out on the edges, so they're a little spooky to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, just dropped my pole.
Tell you, the clouds are just partly sunny, partly cloudy, and it's holding true. These fish are starting to turn on. We've had multiple rises here.
I'd say we had about 5 or 6 fish this last section.
Beauty. Nice fish. Nice little river ring.